welcome to Access. My name is Nathan, and I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, we're back.
Yeah.
In the world of Steep.
Aren't we just? Yeah, and what a world.
I know, and well, this is what this video is about, really. This is a video called How Big is the Map in Steep?
Yeah.
And how the heck do you get around it?
Yeah, it's vast and
It's enormous.
with lots of grace.
It is, isn't it? And it's a bit different to how we expected. So we played, 6 or 7 hours of this in France, and this isn't a video we planned on making really, but I guess it came out of and this is particularly my gameplay, my experience of just trying to kind of get a feel for what you do in Steep.
Yeah.
Really, because obviously you go down the mountain and you can either do that on a snowboard or on skis, in a wingsuit, or like here, paragliding.
Yep.
But you can also discover the world. There are places called drop points, and when you get within a kilometre of them and you pull out your binoculars, you unlock them, and then you can always get to them places again. And a lot of Steep seems to be about finding, not just doing the events which are kind of pre-programmed into the game, but also making your own routes.
Yeah.
Like if you drop anywhere, and you can drop anywhere with a helicopter ticket, you can go literally anywhere in the map. And then if you just go down the mountain, that becomes a route that you can turn into an event. So a lot of it's going to be about kind of discovering that.
Yeah, it's something I had to come to terms with a little bit, I guess, because it's kind of it feels kind of new for games. Like I'm used to being in a big open world like this. With a game like this, you would expect you can see the highlighted points there, which are events or drop zones that you've already discovered, and you can understand.
Just undiscovered there on the left.
Yeah, and you can understand. Okay, I can go to those points because I've sort of found them. But you can go anywhere on the map with helicopter tickets, and you can ignore the events completely and just find your own way across the world.
And this is kind of what I did here. So this is me from the top of Mont Blanc, and I just sort of paraglided off the top. I didn't really know where I was going. What I thought was I'd be able to get some nice shots of the sunset, basically, if I was hanging in the air, which hopefully I've done.
Yes, you have.
But then gradually I got closer to this other mountain, which turned out to be the Matterhorn. And I kind of thought, I just wanted to, I was like, can I? And I love it in games when you're just like, I wonder if it's possible to do this thing. Do you remember in Dying Light I climbed up that bridge?
Do I? Yeah.
Do you know what? And obviously that's not really what you're supposed to do in Dying Light, although it kind of is. You can use the climbing mechanics in Dying Light to kind of find those sorts of areas. And I felt a bit like that here. And it just kind of gave me more of a sense of the character of the game and what there is to do in it. And it's not just about going down mountains and doing tricks.
Yeah.
It's also about there's a lot to unlock and explore. And that exploration, especially with the paragliding, the green arrows on screen now, the upstreams, updrafts,
I think.
next to mountains, they kind of go up the faces of kind of rock formations, mean that you can actually climb up. So at this point, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be able to get to the top if I'm good.
Well, I've got to be honest, Nath. I didn't, even after my sort of 6 or 7 hours, I didn't appreciate what that meant. I mean, and this really is the only way to go up in the game, unless you use the map, and just go wherever you want. This is a way to actually travel up. And I wonder whether, there are paragliding events, races and things like that you can do in the game. But I wonder really whether that's why they put paragliding in as a forms of a great way of exploring. I mean, we were lucky enough on the steep trip that we went on to speak to some actual professional free-ride skiers.
From Bon Appetit.
And from Bon Appetit. And Fabien. And they were saying how when you free-ride, you spend hours of the day just looking at the mountain from afar, looking at your drop point and working out your line, like figuring out exactly, and trying to visualize what it will look like on the way down. Yeah. And I wonder whether paragliding in Steep, is a lot like that. It's a way to explore around the mountain, try and find something off-piste. I mean, it's all off-piste, really. Yeah. But that looks like a great place to drop in. I could try and get down to that.
It's also just about a way of going up instead of down, which is completely not what I expected of this game. And I mean, I didn't. As I said, this is my kind of moment of realizing, I can do this, and this is amazing. I can actually get right to the top, which felt great and it gave me a good view. But it also ties into, because we were talking to some of the guys at Ubisoft about what's coming in Steep in terms of DLC. And in terms of, I think a lot of people see this as a reasonably serious kind of winter sport. Look, that's my journey from Matterhorn over to Mont Blanc. But the stuff that's coming in DLC, I think, will probably make this more of a playground.
Yeah.
They've got toboggans.
Yeah.
like sledges, and they've got
rocket wings.
With retorts of rockets, and once you get rocket wing, you can just, I mean, it's like in Batman. Obviously, I can see it from the top of Matterhorn, and yeah, it's like in Batman Arkham Asylum. You know, like Arkham City. Once you can dive and then pull up, you can basically fly.
Yeah.
And once you can basically fly in this world, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with, because I really like the world itself, and I guess what I wanted to get was not just a sense of like how big is the map, because that's like it's a meaningless question without any context, but this is why I wingsuited from the top, because I started to have an idea that I wanted to make this video, and I wanted to hit the end of the map really. And bear in mind, this is sped up now, and bear in mind that we're only, like, the distance between Mont Blanc and Matterhorn in the game is not that much of the map.
Yeah.
Like, and I will pull back to a map view in a second to try and give you a sense of that, but it's hard to give it, like, they're kilometers apart, but in the whole, this is again sped up, but in the whole kind of scope of the map, it's not actually that far. So you can see the edge of the map there, and basically what I wanted to do here, I've edited this because this whole journey took about 20 minutes from the top of Mont Blanc. I want to kind of give you a sense of how slow you move when you're actually touching the ground. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What is it? What is the human scale of the kind of the distances that we're talking about here? So initially, actually, I had all this footage sped up, and I have edited it. I have cut it in half, because you're thinking, the edge of the map over there, you can see it. It's not very far away. It took me a good few minutes to get to, and I just want people to kind of understand that within everything that we're showing you, which is just probably less than 10% of the map in total. Think about all the kind of 100 meter, 200 meter runs and events that you could make and build with the kind of geography that they're giving you. And so, like being able to discover really cool places where you're going to be able to string 2 or 3 jumps together and then challenge people to do it. Or just have fun, just enjoy going down them without setting challenges for other people. Like, use the replay, share a cool view or whatever. I'm going to bump it to the edge of the map, and then this kind of brings me out to the map view of the mountains, and then we get to kind of just look at the path that I've just kind of paraglided and wingsuited and snowboarded down. So look, there's the top of Mont Blanc, paraglided there from left to right to Matterhorn, then wingsuited kind of towards the camera, and this is it from the other side. And just to kind of finish off the video, what I wanted to kind of show was the map is reasonably difficult to kind of get a hold on, because it's 3D, you can go all the way around it. I kind of thought about it as like a 2D kind of range of mountains. There are these hot air balloons that you unlock as you kind of go from area to area. There's that same view, Mont Blanc, Matterhorn on the right, and I wanted to kind of give a sense of the overall kind of scope of the map, which is harder to do than it sounds.
Yeah, it is.
So look, you can look over to the Aravis air balloon. I'm about to kind of pop over there now, and now we're kind of nearer the starting areas. Those events to the left and nearer the where you begin, and then obviously when you get to Mont Blanc, that's when you're kind of more advanced, and that's just a kind of remember what it's like when you're actually snowboarding in that kind of bit of this video where we were snowboarding and how long it took just to get to the edge. Like, we're talking about really massive distances.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the sort of thing, doing this video, talking about how big is the map, that it's not only, it's bigger than the sum of its parts, really. When you think that you're not, there's no roads, you're not going down set paths.
Yeah.
The whole thing is about finding your own way. And we're talking about finding, lines, and they can be any sort of length from, like you said, you could find an amazing sort of like just 3 little jumps that you string together that feel amazing, to like a route down an entire mountain.
Paraglide down Mont Blanc, make it last half an hour.
Yeah.
And then set that as an event.
Exactly.
I don't know if you want to do that, but you could do if you wanted to. And the other thing is, like, if we're giving the impression here, I've gone into first person just to make it look nice. If we're giving the impression that it's kind of laborious to get around, or there's only going to be things that you can discover by kind of walking or paragliding tortuously upwards, that's not true. You can fast travel around this world, basically, to every discovered point or event that you've done. You're able to instantly kind of walk back there, and you're able to do that by coming out to the mountain view, or by just using your binoculars to discover stuff.
Yeah.
So it's agile as well.
It's the fastest fast travel, I think, of any game. It really is instantaneous. Just pick a spot and go, and you're there. So there you go. There's a look. Hopefully that's given you, it's more difficult than it sounds to do. Hopefully that's given you a sense of how big the map in Steep is. I'm looking forward to playing more of Steep. It's out at the end of this week. We've got a few more videos on the channel if you'd like to check them out. Do like this video if it was helpful to you. Stay subscribed to the channel, and we'll see you soon.